Hi, this is Ryan with Tremonti. Thanks for joining. Today I want to give a tutorial on a custom Divi header hero section, whatever you want to call it, that has a badge look, and the tutorial will include the desktop version and also a mobile view of the header. Before we get into it, a shameless plug for my plugin, Stop Spammers. If you need a security plugin, this one, I'm very proud of it. I maintain it regularly, so there are a bunch of features every year that I include. Trying to get it up to 100,000 active installations. It's 10 years old, so it's a very mature plugin, and we offer very quick turnaround in terms of support. And it's compatible with other popular security plugins like WordPress. So please give it a look and see if it fits your website's needs. Thank you. All right, we'll start by editing an existing page by going into the Divi Visual Builder. And add a new section. This section will be comprised actually of two columns, and we need to make these columns to be full width. So let's just go ahead and reduce the gutter width to 1 and the width and max width to 100%. All right, let's bring this to the top now. Okay, so we have the placeholder for where our header section will be. And on the left, we'll have a text module. Let's just do something like this. And on the right, we'll have our image. All right. Okay, so far we have our image and our text that'll comprise of the header. And now we have to do some styling changes to make this look good, make the text look good, and make the image look good first before we put in these styles to the row and the section itself. So let's just center the image and no space below it. On the desktop view, we'll have some negative margin at the top. And then for the mobile view, you can see that it'll cover the text. So we'll reduce that back to 0 margin for mobile. While we're in here, let's add padding to the mobile view so that we can get a little space in between the text and the top of the image. So we'll add 50 pixels here and then save it. Let's go back to the desktop view and let's add another text area. This will be a button, or it'll look like a button. So let's just add something like this. And we are going to leverage the Elegant icon set. That's on the Elegant Themes website. And you can just pick and choose the different icon that you'd like to use with the different code. And all you have to do is put it in a span calling the etpb icon class to get the icon to appear in the text area. So that's what we'll do there, and then we're just going to add a background to it. And let's update the spacing a little. Let's give it a margin of 25, and then we're going to give it a padding of 15 all around. So let's just set these to be equal across the board. And then let's also give it a margin of 8% on the left. I forgot to do that with the top text area. So that'll look good and look the same because it's percentage as we shrink the window. And then when we get to the mobile view, we'll just leave it at 0 pixels. And then in the sizing, we'll center the module and set a max width to make it look like a button of maybe 250, maybe 200. Perfect. And let's make the text light, and then we'll round off the corners. Okay, looking good. Only thing left to do is because this is a button, we'll add a link to the module itself. So let's just add something like this and then click Save. All right, let's go back to the original text module that we have here and do some of the same things. Let's give it a left margin of 8%, but keep the margin at 0 as we get to 0, and then we'll center things as we move to the mobile view. So let's just select this icon here and do the same for the text. Find the tablet icon and then do that. So that's looking good. Maybe a little bit more line height here. All right. So that's looking good. Let's now go to the columns, and we'll start out with the column structure itself. So let's equalize the column heights, and then go into on the row, and then go into a specific column. Let's go into the left column, and to center this with the image, we're going to select main element and add margin auto. So now, despite the fact that the image and takes up much more space vertically than the text, now the text is going to be aligned with the image vertically. And let's actually just make this a little bit smaller. Let's give it a max width of 400 pixels. Let's do 500. Okay. All right, we're good so far. And then now let's work on the backgrounds. All right, gonna stop there. Couple things that I missed here. Let's go back into the button and we'll center the text itself so that it looks nice in the button format. And let's go into sizing. Let's actually just leave this as uncentered until we get to the mobile view, and then we'll center it like everything else. All right, that's looking good. Maybe also the background, we can let's give it a hover of a different color. Let's go with a nice dark blue here. There we go. All right, let's also make this text light colored, and oh, actually we can't see it just yet. Let's make it 55, and then on mobile we'll shrink it to maybe 40. All right, give it a little bit more weight, and uppercase. All right, that's looking good. Okay, now let's make the text white, and we'll make the paragraph text white as well. And we'll start in on the backgrounds. So what we're going to do first is let's go to the section, and we're going to set a background of clear on the section. So let's just set it like that. On mobile, we're going to change it to a gradient. So I tried doing the dividers for sections, but that didn't look really good. So what we're going to end up doing is we're actually going to set the gradient such that it looks like a divider. So let's go ahead and go on the gradient tab, and for the first gradient we'll select this color, and for the second gradient what we're going to do is not select a color so much as just add some transparency to it, so it looks like it's a little bit fading out. And then what we're going to do to get it to look like a divider is update the direction and the start position and end position. So for the direction, we'll put it at 150. And then this is very important to make this look like a line. The start position and end position need to equal. So we'll put the start position as 65% and the end position at 65%. And there you go. Let's actually go back in there. I forgot to do one thing, which is I need to make the background not fully transparent on mobile to get the divider to show correctly. So let's go back into the gradients. Let's just take this hex code and then go over to the background color, the solid one. Drop that in. Oops. Drop it in. And now we can see that divider line when we go into the mobile view. All right, starting to look pretty good. All right, now we're going to work on the row. So let's open that up. Let's set a max height of 350 pixels. We already got the rows to be 100% width, equalized the column heights, and had a gutter width of 1. Let's also, before I forget, let's get the image to be a little bit smaller actually. So let's go into here and set a max width of let's do 450 pixels. Okay. Back into the row section, let's get into the background. And so on desktop, we'll have the gradient just as we did for the section, but only with the section we had it on mobile. So the gradient will appear in the row itself on the desktop. And let's just do the same thing that we did. We'll take this color as the first one, and then we'll just do something that's transparent for that second piece. And then also we'll have the solid background be there. So, okay, so we got that set. And then let's come down to the direction and start in positions. We'll do for the desktop view 140 degrees and a start and end position of 60%. All right, so that's looking good so far. All right, let's go back into the image itself and update the spacing here. Just eyeball it to be about 50 pixels. We added 50 pixels of margin to the section at the bottom, and then right here we're just going to have 0 on mobile. Okay, so let's go back to the section itself, and so you can see we added 50 pixels here. On mobile, I think we are good to just have 0, and that'll look pretty good. Okay, let's see how the end result looks. There it is. You have your new header with the title, text, subtitle, button, and then an image to offset everything. And here it is in mobile. This has been Ryan with Tremonti. Thanks for watching.